Hello readers, and welcome to a new segment that I'll be doing here on my channel. I will be starting to do a segment in between making my books and stuff where I will recommend books or book series to you guys every once in a while once I find one that I like. Now these book series won't ever be anything that's already like a super popular book series that has thousands of viewers, because what's the point in recommending you a book that you probably already know about? So I'm just here to recommend you some books that you may have not heard about. And today's recommendation is the Maya of Thebes Chronicles. It's a book series it's like a young adult book series. So it's about a young girl who's coming into adulthood, and she wants to join school for pretty much people who want to become soldiers to protect the citizens of Egypt, because it takes place in Egypt, and it's like a high fantasy novel that instead of being in like medieval times sort of stuff, it's Egyptian times sort of stuff. It has Egyptian mythology in it. It has mythological creatures and stuff like that in it. It also has, issues such as slavery and bullying in schools and stuff like that introduced into the book. Now, for those of you who don't really like bullying subjects, there is a lot of bullying in the first book, but if you can get past that, once you're into the second book, the bullying dies down and you get into a more bigger story beyond the school in question. Now, the type of soldiers that are in the story are called protectorates, and the first book in the series is actually called M.A.MCAlpine. I'll put a link down in the description of the video below, depending on where you're watching this, of where to go to buy a copy of these books. The second book is called The Games, and they're all by M.A.MCAlpine. I hope I said his name right. If I didn't, I'm sure he'll tell me down in the comments. And Soulstone is the third book. Now, if I am correct, it's supposed to be a 5-book series, and the 4th book should be coming out soon. Now, I've read all 3 of these books. Kamen Ra is more of a introduction to the main character Maya and those of her classmates who will become her closest friends and allies, and some of the teachers that'll be her allies, and then minor enemies and teachers she hates. There isn't really a main antagonist in this. Like, there's antagonists in it, but there's no main like villain character in this story that really gives Maya an actual like purpose beyond just being a student at the school. But near the end of the book, a mysterious person appears that makes you question what's going on. So I decided to give it a chance and read the second book. Now, the second book is where the action really starts and getting in on. And you get an actual antagonist who is pretty much like the leader of a cult. What I can only see him as is like a leader of a cult who is trying to use manipulation to get people to do what he wants and help take down the protectorate so that he can lead his cult into the future of being like the superpower of the nation in Egypt. And then the Soulstone goes on past that. But I don't want to give you guys too much information. This continues on from that. There's some pretty big battles in this one. There's one battle that was pretty cool that I really liked in this one that I'm not going to tell you about, but I'll just say that as the story goes on, you can tell the writer really got into his own story, and it gets better and better as it goes along. Hopefully the 4th book will continue that. and the 5th book as well. And as far as I know, he said that there's only going to be 5 books in this series. So we're more than halfway done with the series. He's more than halfway done with the series. I'd say go check it out so that you can read these 3 books before the 4th book comes out. Although it might have come out by the time you're watching this video. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars for a new author. This is actually a pretty good storyline. I've read plenty of new authors, stories, and even some authors that are famous authors, and this one I enjoyed, and I think you'll enjoy too, as long as you like high fantasy adventures, and it gives a little twist to it where it's an Egyptian adventure. The only thing about the Egyptian adventure thing is you might have to look up some Egyptian lore, because there was some items and Egyptian items and Egyptian words in there that I had to look up because I didn't know what it was. Like a kopesh, I think is what they're called, the weapons. I can't remember the actual name right now, but it's like a weapon, an Egyptian weapon. I was like, what is it? So I just wanted to know. I had to look it up to know what it was, so that I could imagine it, you know. But other than that, the story is good. You tell a little bit that he was just starting to learn what he's supposed to be doing with his stories in the 1st book, but it is a really good story, and it is really good. But my favorite part, the part where I really got into it, was the 2nd book. It actually gives you at the beginning of the 2nd book a look back on what happened in the 1st book, so you could potentially just start from the 2nd book, but I'd recommend getting the 1st book as well, just to make sure you have all of the information that you need going into the 2nd book. And that's all I'm going to say about these, because I don't want to go too far. I don't want to give out too much spoilers, but I do recommend them for anyone who likes young adult fantasy novels with a twist of having it in Egypt instead of like medieval times, or like just a medieval times style fantasy world. And I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, check it out. Thanks for watching.